I know sometimes it can get a little discouraging when it comes to manifestation. And I wanted to share with you just a short couple of stories about some successes I've had and where they've sort of come from. First of all, when I was very young, I always asked for a dog. And I think my dad was into it, but my mom was a firm no, there was not going to be a dog. And it was a very specific dog. I wanted a German Shepherd. I've always loved German Shepherds my entire life. And literally every Christmas list from the time I was in first grade till probably fifth grade, there was always German Shepherd dog. And specifically, the name Rocky always came to be. Well, I finally realized as a child that wasn't going to happen. Many years later, though, I thought about this and thought about how much I would love to have a German Shepherd. And I used to specifically picture my hand reaching out and petting a German Shepherd and very specifically looking like this, where my hand would be right behind the German Shepherd's head with their big old ears, and they would be black and red, just like this. And I would always just picture my hand touching the German Shepherd's head and what the fur would feel like. And well, as you can see, here's the German Shepherd. It was something that was so visceral for me and so real that I would do this so often that I remember the day where I just reached out and was petting my German Shepherd's head. It was like, oh, I've been doing this for such a long time, like way before I ever had the dog. The other thing that I used to do is when I was in high school, a friend of mine, I had a girlfriend, but a female friend of ours didn't have a prom date and was the sweetest girl, just the kindest, coolest, just one of my really good friends. My girlfriend was very cool with it. And so I went to prom with this friend of mine. She was 1 year older than I was. And just as friends, right? Well, when I went to her house to pick her up for prom, and I knew her family and stuff, her dad was just this really sweet guy. He was a very successful lawyer. And he drove an Audi. And I always, ever since I was a kid, that was like one of my favorite cars was Audis. And I remember when I went there to pick her up for the date, he was like, "Oh, I want you to take my car." And it was a brand new Audi. It was like 1985, right? So it was a big car, and I remember feeling the circles, the Audi circles on the steering wheel. And I thought to myself, someday I'm going to have an Audi. And I would memorize at whatever age I was, 16, 17 years old. I memorized what that felt like, those circles. My German Shepherd's, he's done, he's out. um, and I would just feel them. And I used to do that all the time. And right now I'm on my fifth Audi right now. I'm actually love them. I've loved those cars. And it was a very visceral thing, the circles on the steering wheel. And I want to encourage you because I can think over and over again of things that popped into my mind that just felt good or that I desired or that I wanted and ended up manifesting in my life. But other than just desiring it, it was sort of this step. I desired it. That's the truth. But then I would act as if I already had it and I'd imagine it. We all know that kind of stuff. Then I would sort of just forget about it. Like even with the German Shepherd, it wasn't like I was actively thinking about manifesting the German Shepherd like the day that I got him. It just everything lined up, the perfect opportunity, the perfect dog, the perfect color, the perfect situation, the perfect adoption situation, and then I get this beautiful dog that I love. And this guy actually that you were seeing me pet is my second German Shepherd. My first one, I had him for almost 10 years and he passed and I miss him so much. But that's something that I saw from a very early age. Now, why didn't I get it as a kid? Well, I might not have been trying to quote manifest it. Also might have been that the place and the time wasn't right. My mom didn't want me to have a dog. So if I would have gotten the dog, she probably would have gotten mad and made me give it away, right? And in other situations, everything from, I was living with roommates too. I was homeless for a short period of time in New York City. That just wasn't exactly the perfect times to have the German Shepherd. I feel like it's a combination of your desire and then sort of doing the steps of visualizing it and calling it into your present state, bringing it into your mind, bringing it into your emotions and your senses. And then honestly, it's letting it go. Even my wife, I'm married to the most incredible woman. And it's so funny, and I've told her this, and I wish I could find it. I can't even remember which it was, but this is gonna sound so silly. I'm almost embarrassed to say this out loud. But when I was like probably like 12 or 13, I loved comic books. And there was a comic book, and one of the characters in the comic book, there was a girl, a female character that he was in love with. And she had a certain look about her. I would say very, using a celebrity, Sofia Vergara kind of looking. And I just remember like that was my type. And while I had other relationships and other girlfriends and had been married once before, and nothing like that person, my wife, that's the vibe. That's who she looks like. And it never occurred to me till later on that I ended up being in a relationship with this person who has that same energy as a little kid, as this fantasy woman that I had in my mind. Now, that's not all that she is. She's all these other amazing things that I wanted to manifest. But in addition to that, I look back over my life and I can think of literally hundreds of times. There was a time that I didn't have enough money to pay the electric bill. And I was so tight with money, and I needed that. It was a small amount. It was a small apartment. It was like, I don't remember the dollar amount now. Let's say it was $85 or something, or 80 bucks. And I had like $3, and I went to the grocery store, and these $3 were in my pocket, and they were from tips that I had gotten from my job. And I bought $3 in lotto, and I hit three numbers or something. And it was literally almost to the dollar. It was like $1 over what I needed to pay that electric bill. I'm telling you this because I'm living proof that this stuff works. I believe strongly it's the following steps: picture it, believe it, bring it into your senses, reinforce it, and then at some point, let it go and trust it. I just want to encourage you, and I'm grateful that you're here. I've been picturing in my mind a certain number of folks that would subscribe to my channel, and it's growing, and it's so exciting to see it. And so, if I can earn your subscription, your subscribing and joining this channel, I'd be very grateful. I hope you don't give up. I hope this encourages you a little bit. Your Audi, your love of your life, your German Shepherd, your winning lotto ticket, it's there for you. You just got to believe it's there. And I promise you, eventually, if it's meant to be, if it doesn't violate all sorts of natural, biological, and laws of physics, it's going to happen. You got this. You're awesome.